welcome to the first edition of the Democracy Herald. I am Demos Kratos. Today I want to talk about how we define democracy, and the absolute worst way to start a presentation is to start with a definition. It shows that the presenter is lazy, it loses attention spans. As such, the definition of democracy, according to Encyclopedia Britannica, is a system of government in which laws, policies, leadership, and major undertakings of a state or other polity are directly or indirectly decided by the people. Two things about that definition. First off, democracy is not always a system of government. There's also community and workplace democracy, and those are very important. But for the most part, I do want to talk about governments. And second of all, every single word in that definition can and is debated in a healthy democracy. What is the definition of the people? What is policy? What's the difference between directly and indirectly? If you're a certain age and American or a student of American politics, you may remember Bill Clinton asking what the definition of is. In a democracy, many people get a chance to participate and argue over all sorts of things. And that's actually a good thing, because then we can have many different ideas of what democracy is and what democracy means. Part of that is because nearly every country claims to be a democracy. Democracy is very popular. If you look, every country in dark gray, so there are 7 that are in light gray that do not claim to be a democracy, but everyone else, it is popular throughout the world to say we represent the people. Now, of course, it also happens that there are bad people that use democracy as cover. If I can be fairly blunt, no one in North Korea is going to be watching this video about the definition of democracy. And North Korea, which I think can accurately be called the most repressive totalitarian regime in the history of the world. Maybe I'm overstating it there, but I think that's pretty close to true. The proper name for North Korea is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. So keeping in mind that democracy is a popular way to have cover, but it is also popular among people because people understand that it means getting to represent themselves. But it is still a very new concept. If you talk to someone 300 years ago, democracy was understood to be chaos. And in many philosophical tracts, that is what it is treated as. But 250 years ago, an experiment was started in the United States with a very imperfect democracy. But 250 years in the span of human civilization, if we took human civilization as the age of a person, 250 years is like 3 years old. So the fact that democracy is still was 250 years ago and is still deeply imperfect is not surprising and shouldn't be surprising to anyone, because democracy is a little itty bitty toddler form of government. It is still growing. It is still trying to understand what it could be. But in a good society, everyone gets a say in how they should be governed, which is fair. And when everyone has the chance and can think about how they wish to be governed, then people have better equality and have more rights. Democracy also lessens the chance for violence, because if everyone knows that they have a chance to convince other people of the way they believe in things, then they're less likely to commit violent acts. If you have a dictator, there's no reason not to be violent, because there's no other way to change policy. With all of that, if you enjoyed this, please come back for more and like and subscribe. If I got everything wrong, feel free to comment below and tell me. Thanks so much.